The 2026 World Cup has kicked off, and now seems like a good time to refresh our memories of football or soccer-themed cartoons and animated series that we grew up watching. The genre of football animation mostly has its origins in Japan, while Western animation took longer to get the ball rolling, and it may surprise you which cartoon was among the earliest to feature the sport of football or soccer, depending on where you're watching from. While many of you may be looking ahead at which country might win this year's World Cup, today we're looking back at memorable and iconic football teams, players, and matches seen in cartoons, animation, and anime over the years. Please like this video if it brings back any memories. Remember to subscribe for more cartoon history, and let me know in the comments from where in the world you're watching today. In 1970, a Japanese manga series debuted called Akakichi No Eleven, which translates into Red-Blooded 11. And in April that same year, the manga was adapted into an anime series produced by Tokyo TV Dalgo, and ran for 52 episodes until the following year. Akakichi No Eleven follows a talented but arrogant high school football player named Shingo Tamai, who initially clashes with his new coach, Tenpai Matsuki, a former Japanese national team goalkeeper and Olympic bronze medalist, and who is determined to build an unstoppable squad. Shingo and Matsuki eventually reconcile and work together towards building a team capable of challenging for the national championship. Akakichi No Eleven emphasizes players' psychology and team spirit rather than technical aspects of the game, and heavily focused on melodrama and intense training. More than 50 years later, Akakichi No Eleven remains largely obscure to modern audiences, aside from a few references in pop culture. Many of you may recognize this meme. But the series was massively popular at the time of its initial run, mainly among male football fans, and remains not only the first anime dedicated to football, but the first animated series in the genre, paving the way for later football animes. Less than 2 months later, football popped up in another animated series produced in Eastern Europe. Cossacks was a series of Soviet-Ukrainian animated comedy short films which debuted in 1967 and featured the adventures of 3 Cossacks named Grey, Oko, and Tur. The cartoon series immediately gained popularity, and its heroes became Ukrainian cartoon classics. And the third episode of the series, entitled How the Cossacks Played Football, released on June 2nd, 1970, is one of the most famous Cossack episodes. Grey, Oko, and Tur return from London, bringing back a sport they witnessed while over there, football, and regale their fellow Cossacks with tales of a golden trophy presented by the Queen of England to the winning team. The 3 Cossacks teach the others the basics of football, and then gather a team and head west to challenge other countries to a game of football. The Cossacks play in 3 European countries where they encounter various styles of playing football, forcing them to use their ingenuity to overcome these obstacles, and the victorious visitors eventually march on to London. At a rain-soaked Wembley Stadium, the pitch is drenched due to the rain, which is taken advantage of by the English side, who run rings around the overwhelmed visitors. Eventually, the Cossacks find a way to stop the rain, and the field dries as a result, allowing the Cossacks to finally play football. The visitors are victorious, and the Queen of England presents them with a golden trophy, which they take back home. How Cossacks Played Football combines the humour of Cossack traditions with the spirited competition of football, intertwining humour with cultural nuances, capturing the essence of camaraderie among the Cossacks, as well as highlighting how football is played very differently around the world. In March 1981, another football-themed manga series debuted called Captain Tsubasa, written and illustrated by Yoichi Takahashi, and the original manga series was adapted into an anime television series by Shuchida Production and was first broadcast on TV Tokyo on October 10, 1983. The series revolves around the sport of association football, centering on Tsubasa Uzora, a young football prodigy, and follows Tsubasa's football career in elementary and middle school through to Tsubasa becoming a professional footballer, playing abroad in Brazil and Spain, while also representing the Japanese national team. I recently uploaded a video dedicated to the Captain Tsubasa anime series as I felt it deserved a video of its own, and I will include a link to the video in the description if you'd like a deeper dive. Captain Tsubasa is a legendary anime series and the most famous football-themed animated series in history, which had a lasting effect on professional football both in Japan and around the world, where it was known as various titles like Super Campeones and Captain Majid. Captain Tsubasa was popular enough to spawn another 2 football-themed anime series, the first being Ganbare Kickers, which debuted on October 15th, 1986, and which was adapted from the manga series of the same name, which was first published the year before. Ganbare Kickers centers around Kitahara Elementary Kickers, an enthusiastic children's football team which cannot win games without a competent striker, who eventually arrives in the form of Kakeru Daiichi, another young football prodigy who guides the team to varying degrees of success. Unlike Captain Tsubasa, the Kitahara Elementary Kickers actually lose games, especially against their main rivals, the Red Devils, anchored by their seemingly invincible goalkeeper, Yusugi. And Ganbare Kickers focuses on the team of underdogs and their ability to stick together in the face of adversity. Ganbare Kickers ran for 26 episodes in total and 1 original video animation, with the final episode airing on January 5th, 1988. This was followed by Moero Top Striker, produced by Nippon Animation and broadcast for 49 episodes on TV Tokyo from 10th of October 1991 to 24th of September 1992. The series tells the story of a boy named Yoshikara Hikaru, yet another young Japanese football prodigy who this time travels to play in Genoa, Italy, from a young age, under the mentorship of Albert Robson, a former football star. Hikaru trains to become a world-class football player, rising through the highly competitive Italian youth leagues and later taking part in various European tournaments. In 1992, the series spawned a video game called Top Striker, and in South Korea, the anime became more popular than Captain Tsubasa. Association football had become a popular subject matter in the world of anime by the end of the 1980s, while the sport took a lot longer to take off in Western animation, its first appearance arriving in a surprising place. Disney's Goofy character appeared in a handful of how-to cartoons in the 1940s and 1950s, some of which were guides to playing various sports like baseball and American college football. And the cartoons typically showcase Goofy demonstrating how to play these sports while failing hilariously in the process. Goofy's Freeway Troubles, released in 1965, was the last solo Goofy cartoon until 1987, when the character appeared in Sport Goofy in Soccermania, a 20-minute-long animated television special produced by Walt Disney Feature Animation. Soccermania flipped the script on a typical Goofy cartoon and portrayed the character as athletic and actually competent, who becomes the coach of the MacDuck Greenback soccer team featuring Huey, Dewey and Louie, who enter a soccer tournament. Soccermania was notable for different reasons, not just for being the first soccer cartoon in Western animation. The special marked the animated debut of some characters from the Donald Duck universe, most notably the Beagle Boys, while also being the first time Huey, Dewey and Louie were voiced by Russi Taylor, who would voice the trio in DuckTales, a series which debuted just a few months before Soccermania. The special is one of the few Disney cartoons of the time where Uncle Scrooge was voiced by Will Ryan instead of Alan Young, who voiced Scrooge in DuckTales, and Soccermania also featured an early prototype of Roger Rabbit seen in the crowd watching a game. Hurricanes was an animated television series produced by Deke Entertainment in collaboration with Scottish Television Enterprises and Serial Productions, and first aired from 1993 until 1997. The series focused on a fictional football team, the Hispaniola Hurricanes, and throughout the series the Hurricanes would find themselves up against their arch rivals on the football pitch, the Gorgons, or having crazy, unexpected adventures off the field in exotic locations around the world. The team is owned by 16-year-old Amanda Carey, who inherited the team after her father mysteriously disappeared. And the team is coached by Jock Stone, a wise, no-nonsense Scottish manager who was based on the late Celtic FC manager Jock Stein. The Hurricanes are a diverse bunch, with their captain, Carl Cassie, hailing from the United States, while the rest of the team are made up of players from around the world. In 1994, 3 games based on the Hurricanes were released for the Mega Drive, the Game Gear, and for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, all 3 published by US Gold. Although not credited in the series, the late Italian politician Silvio Berlusconi was involved in the project, and being the owner of AC Milan at the time, his team is the only real-life football team to be mentioned in the series. Supa Strikas is a South African association football-themed comic, published from 2001 to 2020, before it was developed into an animated series, produced by Striker Entertainment, a South African-based comics and animation production studio, until 2019, when the entire franchise was acquired by British media company Moonbug Entertainment. Like the original comic strip, Supa Strikas centers around the titular football team, dubbed the world's greatest, who must adapt to various unique oppositions in matches taking place around the world. Like the Hurricanes, the Supa Strikas is a diverse team made up of players from around the world, from South Africa to Spain and Brazil, headed by a Jamaican captain with an American in goal. Supa Strikas ran for 7 seasons, from 2008 to 2020, producing 91 episodes in total, and developed a worldwide popularity, airing on each continent. Supa Strikas is packed with both football action and adventure off the pitch, as the Supa Strikas' quest for Super League glory takes them to all corners of the globe, as they attempt to overcome all kinds of skillful, outlandish, and downright wacky opposition. And finally, Inazuma 11 is a role-playing sports video game released in 2008 for the Nintendo DS, and which would go on to spawn a franchise which included 3 anime adaptations, starting with Inazuma 11, which ran for 3 seasons from 2008 to 2011. Inazuma 11 takes its cue from previous animes like Ganbare Kickers, and features a talented young goalkeeper and his attempts to revive his school's lackluster football team from the verge of being disbanded to competing with the best teams in the country. Inazuma 11 was followed by 3 seasons of Inazuma 11 Go from 2011 to 2014, and then Inazuma 11 Outer Code from 2016 to 2017. That's a wrap for today. Just a quick look back at some famous football and soccer cartoons and anime over the years. Feel free to let me know in the comments if there are other similar cartoons that you would add to this list, and also let me know if there are any other sports-related cartoons and animated series that you would like me to cover. While we're at it, let us all know in the comments who you think will win this year's World Cup, and let the whole world know if your country is taking part. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like this video if you learned something today, and share this video with anyone you know who might remember these cartoons. I'll be back again soon, so remember to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, hit the bell notification so you don't miss the next video, and stay tuned for more cartoon history.